final thing I want to say to you, jobs. This is about jobs here today. We thought lifting the cost of health care could help create jobs, and it would. It would reduce the burden of health care. It will release more money into investment. It will help you, expand our competitiveness so we can compete with other countries, so people don't have to go to other countries to create the jobs. They can stay here at home because there aren't onerous cost burdens on locating in America for your business. It makes sense. But we also have to think about the kinds of jobs we want to create. We're not going to compete with China on a low-tier manufacturing job where you can pay somebody a couple of bucks a day or whatever it is, or a week even, and not have benefits and not have insurance and not have anything else. We're not going to compete with that. Our future is not in low-tech, low production. It's in a higher value-added kind of job where what we do is not easily replicatable somewhere else. And what we do has a special value within the marketplace because of the value of what we're producing, i.e. life sciences, biotech, biofuels, alternative renewable energy, artificial intelligence, robotics, high-level communications technology, and so forth. If we can start, so that's where education comes in. That's where Middlesex Community College and other educational things are so important. And we can't be throwing out our seed corn, folks. We can't be cutting education and cutting the research and development into those kinds of jobs because we're just cutting off our nose to spite our face in the long run. We reduce the options for the long-term future. That's why it's so important for us to be smart about how we approach this recession. It is not the time to raise taxes on companies particularly, but on individuals, because that will reduce their spending money and reduce the ability to consume and reduce the ability to invest money in the corporations, and therefore reduce our ability to grow the jobs. So we don't want to do that. That's why we have to deficit spend. In order to put some money into the system, to prime it, to get it going. And that's exactly what is happening. And we need the patience and the steadfastness to kind of stay at it and understand that we're turning this around. Did you see the growth figures yesterday? Our economy grew at 5.7% last quarter. And it grew at 2.2% the 2 quarters before that. So we're growing again, not shrinking the way we were. Now, we only added 6,000 jobs in Massachusetts in the month of December, which obviously is not enough, but it's a hell of a lot better than losing tens of thousands, which we were in the months before that. We're turning it around. And what we need to do is have the confidence now that we are going to invest in the right things and make the right big decisions in Washington for where we're heading. One of those big decisions is to change America's energy policy. And I'm working day and night with Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, Joe Lieberman. We're trying to get people together on this global climate change energy bill to recognize that we've got to price carbon in America. There's got to be a price to carbon because carbon is hurting us. It goes up into the atmosphere. It's warming the earth. It's coming down into the ocean. It's making the ocean more acidified. It comes down into our rivers and streams. It has mercury in it. Our fish are filled with mercury. You can't, some of the fish to the level you don't want to eat them, I'm telling you. It's horrible, because I love fish. I'm from New England. We all love it. But I went and got tested the other day for my own body level of heavy metals, and I was shocked to find it's about 4 or 5 times above the EPA allowable level. And a lot of that comes from what we eat. So we've got to think about the connections of carbon and mercury and all these things that come out of coal-fired power plants, and how we're going to get to clean coal, and how we're going to get to producing our energy so we're not sending $400 billion a year to Nigeria and Venezuela and Saudi Arabia and a bunch of other countries, some of which finds itself in the hands of Hezbollah and Hamas and Al-Qaeda and so forth. It doesn't make sense. America will be stronger if we produce our energy in America. And that's why I'm pushing for domestic production, for doing some things that 10 years ago we might not have thought about. because the life choices between global climate change and a warming Earth and the dangers it presents and our energy independence and the pollution we put in the air and the jobs that we could create at home, that balance, it seems to me, is worth taking the choice. So I just ask you all to share with us now your thoughts about what's impacting you the most, where you think Nikki and I and those of us in Washington might make the biggest difference, or Steve and Kevin here in the State House. And just tell us what you're thinking, how you think, or if you want us to answer a question, we're happy to do it. But we'd like to hear from you.